Hello. I listen many people talk about the reasons of why they walk away from the lies, the abuse, the manipulation, the propaganda, the twisting, the hate. Most is described today in this country, in the USA, as being liberals, Democrats, Marxists, communists, fascists. I had to say, first of all, I am a legal immigrant. Forgive me if I speak slow. I have accent, and I want for everyone to understand what I say. When I came to the United States, I did not speak English. I didn't have family here. I didn't have no job. But I didn't get anything either from the government. I do have a daughter. She was 10 at the time. And I have now 2 beautiful grandchildren. And they are my fight. My kids. That's how I call all 3. I have never felt a victim of anything because I was already victim for 17 years of my life. My first 17 years, I lived under dictatorship, fascism. Most people talk about it as being German thing. It was also Italy and Spain and some other places. I was the property of the government, so freedom was out of the picture. And especially liberty, because we cannot have freedom without liberty. And we cannot have rights without having the freedom to exercise those rights. And this is why I made this video. I listen many of you talk about your own experience. Some of them has impressed me a lot. And I think it's very important and to me very special to see somehow the American people is waking up of the abuse, the manipulation, the propaganda, the lies, waking up from being used to feed an agenda who goes against the people of this nation. This nation is not the land. The United States of America, or the USA, or America, however you want to name it, is not the territory. It's not the trees, the lakes, the ocean, the houses. It's the people. The reason why many people outside the United States envy the American people is because the freedoms that you enjoy. It's because the spirit that you have for those freedoms. The understanding that most Americans have about the rights that were right in the Constitution to protect everyone. Now I'm speaking today because someone in the mainstream media has said that this movement is a lie, it's an invention of the Russians. Well, when I came to the United States, I didn't speak English, as I said before. And I had to take time to learn. I learned on my own. I still have an accent. I still have difficult to sound words or express some words. I write a lot better, but even my writing have accent. In any case, 9/11 was my wake-up. My wake-up call into the reality of this country. I've been wake up all my life. I have been a rebel all my life. I was a rebel when I was a kid. I used to talk to the girls that were with me while we don't unite and jump on top of those people that were abusing us. And I was a child myself. So today, I had to say that when I experienced, like everybody in this country, the 9/11, my experience was more harsh because there was somebody very close to me in one of those towers, and she is vanished like everybody else. It took me a long time to actually confront it and study and search and dig because I want to know why. I always love knowledge. I always have this hunger of knowledge. And when something to me don't add up, when something don't sound right, when something smells fishy, I always ask why, and then I start looking for answers. I just don't take whatever anybody says. I learned in my years of dictatorship that the media is a tool of propaganda. It's been used by governments, corrupt governments, to manipulate and control the people, to stop people for thought process, for common sense. And I see this happen in the United States. I see how this government use the emotions of the people to give agendas. And people need to be more smart, more wise, start asking questions. Because at the end of the day, it is the people who pay. Government never gives nothing, always takes everything. My husband, I'm married with a black man. After 23 years, we got divorced. It's after those years that I found that he was a liberal. At the time when I came to the United States, and then I thought I was a Democrat. Because it sounded the same as the party of my people, for the people back in my country. But like everything else, when I start learning English, I start also investigating the party. And I found out the history, very dark history of the Democrat Party. Some people have told me that the party switched. No, the party didn't switch not anything. The Democrats learned how to manipulate the emotion of the black community and their advantage. And it's through all these years, I asked myself how it's possible that such community as the black people has allowed the Democrat Party to distort and destroy their history, their amazing history. I understand, I'm married with a black man. My grandchildren are missed. I needed to investigate this too. I need to investigate what was the problem. I need to investigate the true history of the black community. And I found out there is nothing but the Democrats try to destroy the black community since day one. Owners of the slaves, promoting slavery all the time. They created the Ku Klux Klan, Jim Crow law. They then vote now one for the 13th or 14th Amendment, who gives the rights to the black people to be American citizens. They were for many generations already, but that was stripped by the Democrats. So there's the Republicans who voted for them on the 13th Amendment and the 14th Amendment. Thanks to the Republicans, they also have civil rights. I read the history of how it started the Republican Party. And I find out that 99.99% of blacks were Republican. And on those years, there was the first Speaker of the House in the Republican Party was black man. Great leaders. Why that story is not being told, I don't understand. So then I also see how today the Democrats are using slavery as the talking point to abuse emotions on the black community and put them against white people. And so I investigate slavery in the United States, not just of blacks, slavery period. And I found that the first slaves in the United States were white people from Ireland, sent here by the English monarchy. Most people don't know that because they don't want to lose the power of emotion to put people against each other. There were black people in this country that had slaves too, blacks and whites, and nobody talk about it. Indians have slaves as well. So my question is always to the American people, why you allow others to manipulate you? It is bad that that happened in history because no one should be a slave of anybody. I was a slave of my government, so I know what that is. But I live that. Many of the people, for not to say no one today in the United States has to live that kind of life. So why you allow for this to be used over and over and over? So when I started studying the Democrat Party and I started seeing all these manipulations and everything, I decided that's not my party. Because they not stand for the things they not stand. They don't have no values, they have no principles, and most important, they go 100% against God. And that is something that I will never take it from anyone. My God supersedes everything. And I don't entertain the idea to think as other gods. I don't care if they call it Buddha or Allah or whoever. Because if I am a believer, as I am, I know it's one God and one God only, the God. So for me to be part of the Democrat Party is a no-no completely. So I thought that I was libertarian. And so I started investigating the Libertarian Party because sounds really good, less government and more power for the people. The problem is it's also involved with anarchy. And anarchy is extreme right. And that is not for me neither. Because at the end of the day, it's the people who lose all the battles. It's the people who lose everything that they have. Anarchy happened in France. And many people become dead, and poor people become more poor. And people were killed for the organs. Anarchy is the worst that we can give. It's the other extreme of communism, fascism, and Marxism. And I don't think that's what we want. So I cannot be libertarian, so I think I'm Republican. Well, here I am, thinking I am Republican. And I am very strong on principles and very strong in values. 2008 comes along. And I know many people, especially on the black community, voted for Obama because he looks black. No one took the time to investigate who the man was. And I think many times when people have told me, oh, you hate him. No, I don't hate him. And if I hate something of him, I will say I hate his white part. Because everybody says he's black. No, he's not. He is mixed man, black and white, like my grandchildren. So in my country, it's called mulatto. I investigate the man. I listen to him laughing when somebody asks him if he wants to bring socialism. I will have laughed too, because the United States is under socialism in disguise for a very long time. The United States have welfare, P.O. box, the post office, the transportation, in so many other programs. They are all part of socialism. The social programs to help people from the money of others. I believe people need to read something really amazing, and there was a congressman that died in the Alamo, David Crockett. Everybody should read what he said about it is not your money to use. And he was talking to the other congressmen who just wanted to use the money of the people to protect a widow that has died, or not a woman whose husband has died and he was in the service. So he says to them, we can help her with our money and our private paychecks, but not with the people's money, because then everybody will want the same thing, and this is what we have today. Now everybody thinks that they should be helped by other people's money, and that's why welfare comes along. No, It is not the people to help people who decide to be irresponsible on their behavior. Their responsibility is important. And people today is angry about slavery that nobody has lived. But yet, they're not angry about welfare. It's a different type of slavery because the government owns you. If the government has power to steal from half of the American people who works to give you, it has the same power to steal that they give you to put it in their pockets. So when Obama came in power, I called him the jihadist. The simple reason is because he was doing a grand jihad against the American people. He is Muslim. I have nothing against Muslims, but I have everything against Islam. And so he promoted everything Islamic. He gives money of the American people to Islamic causes, feeds mosques in foreign countries, and all kind of crazy stuff, putting Muslim Brotherhood in power in this country. Very dangerous. He, under the Constitution, that most people don't read and assume, he is acknowledged to be President of the United States. Because to be President of the United States, you must be 35 years old, you must be a natural born citizen. Natural born citizen is somebody who born in the United States or two parents of the United States at the time of birth. So see, he not born, well, nobody really knows where he born because he sealed everything, but we know that his father was not American, so he has no rights to be president. And it is my completely belief, and if people start paying attention to the corruption that's going on in government for so long and now it's been exposing, it's my belief that the people then vote for this man, he was elected for a completely takeover of the United States, the destruction of the United States, and he almost made it. He almost made it. So to me, this fast allow me to say that none in government, either house, are for the American people. They might be talking the play, they might be talking the game, but when you know that somebody is running for president, and you allow to say it's okay for him to be president of the United States for 8 years, and you part of the government, and you're part of those that make laws and laws and so forth and so on, and you allow this to happen, you are a traitor. I don't care if they're Republicans or Democrats. Every single one of them are traitors. Every single one of them try to perpetuate the agenda of destruction of this country. And if the American people has not wake up yet, it's time for them to wake up. I have seen the writing on the wall. And many people who has come to this country from foreign countries like myself, who has lived under dictatorship, they understand really well what Obama was doing. Not just Obama. Obama was not the only one. The Bushes did it too. And Clinton. The last true Democrat president, the last true good president was JFK. After JFK, the Democrat Party has been taken over by communist fascists, and Marxists, and Islam. All these groups that has been used to supposed to be social causes like the BLM or Antifa, they are all underground support by Islam. They do it in the United States, the same thing they do in Europe. But in United States, American people do it. Foolish. You know, they are the ones that are there just to be used as fool. To destroy themselves and helping the very people that try to destroy everybody, including them. They do in Europe, Islamic people has been grown huge, including for the so-called refugee. There was more an invasion, and it is an invasion more than refugees of anything. They try to do the same thing here in the United States. In Europe, there are many, so They can do it themselves. In the United States, if Islamic people does those kind of attacks face to face, they will be cleaned up real fast by the American people because they have weapons and they can protect and defend themselves. And that's the very reason why the Democrats keep constantly attacking the rights of the people to defend themselves and go constantly attacking the Second Amendment. I will tell you, my people, many of my people got killed by the government because the weapons that my people have at one point were confiscated. They didn't have nothing to protect themselves with. That's the very reason of the Second Amendment, to protect you from a corrupt government. Now, think about it. If you have a law that is taking from you the right to protect yourself, and you are a law-abiding citizen, why that law don't affect the criminals? There's a law already against criminals to have weapons. All of them has one or more than one. They're still killing people. So who is the target? You are the target. So finally, I decided there's too much corruption in both parties. The Republicans corrupt, the Democrats criminals, which is corruption too. So I'll question myself, what am I? And I find the answer. I am a patriot. I love this country, the country of my father. And I will fight for this country to the end. And my party is very simple. God and country. If we don't have God, China, all Middle East countries, Russia at one point, Venezuela, you have no country. If you have no country, you have no God. They both blend. We must have both. So that's my country, that's my party, God and country. I am a patriot. And I walk away from all the corruption from both sides. I am a strong, conservative, constitutionalist patriot. I love America because America is us. And when we fight for us. So I ask you, and I ask everybody who cares for this country, who cares for the future that we are to give to our children and our grandchildren, stand up, speak up, and never surrender. Your freedom is too important for you to lack yourself on knowledge and let them take it away from you. The 10 Amendments, the first 10 Amendments of the Constitution are your natural rights, the rights that you're born with. God has given it to you. And the only way the government can touch them, including the Second Amendment, is by ignorance or no knowledge at all. Knowledge is power. Learn the Constitution and understand, especially the 10 First Amendment. They are your rights, your natural rights by birth. Walking away from the corruption that's going on in this country, and I've been fighting against that for many years. I have many followers. But this is important. If we want to preserve the sovereignty of the United States, we must stand together. We must unite as Americans, not hyphenated, not something else American. Either you're American or not. Protect your rights. Protect your language. Protect your culture. Protect your people, which is American people. Don't allow the division. Don't allow the lies. And if you don't understand something, find it. Don't let people to manipulate you. Don't let people or the media to tell you what to think or what not to think. It's an insult that they're using the black people to give the agenda of hate. And now they're using the Spanish people to have the borders open. No, don't allow them to use you. The border must be closed because you cannot have country without borders. And by the way, the American flag is something that was created by the people of this country. It is not a government thing, it's the people thing. Many people has died through the years in this country, through 242 years in this country to protect the freedoms of the other people, of everyone else. And the symbol was that flag. Don't allow anyone to misrespect your flag, because your flag represents you. If you do the same thing, or anyone else do, spit in the flag, put it on the ground, shoot at the flag, step on the flag, in another country you either get shot or you will be put in prison for a long time. Why do anyone think that has the right to this insult the American flag? It is not freedom of speech. Understand, the Constitution was made for moral people, people of morality, people of virtue, people of principles and values. It was not made for hate. So those that use hate as excuse of freedom of speech, they are lying. Hate is not freedom of speech. Hate is hate. Don't be manipulated. Learn the Constitution and learn what it means. I am an immigrant, a legal immigrant. If I know, you should know too. Stand up for the American people. Stand up for you. You are America. Walk away from the manipulation, the propaganda, the deception, the lies, the corruption. Take a charge of your life, of your thoughts. Be independent on how you think and stand up with your values. Don't let nobody to tell you you're wrong, because your values are yours. If you know who you are, name calling will not make any effects. They're just simple words. You know you. Stand up. God bless America, and God bless you.